Hello and welcome to my devlog about finishing my first game, CreepWars TD. CreepWars TD is a classic tower defense game. I have uploaded the last update of the game on December the 4th, 2021 to Steam. The update focused mainly on balancing and bug fixing. The details and the last written devlog are available at the community hub of the game on Steam. Link is in the description. So what have I done in the past 3 months? The main to-dos were to implement the basics for a new UI, implement 3 difficulty levels, add a menu to select basic graphics level, add an in-game menu for sound level adjustment, implement a stun or debuff feature, and of course fixing bugs. So let's jump right into the first major point. Updating the UI and the menus. I wanted to do this a while ago, but my last attempt was not really satisfying. At the early access launch, I had a very minimalistic UI with pretty big panels.
Yes.
My idea was once again to mimic the style of Warcraft 3 and Dota 2 or World of Warcraft. So I just added some frames and panels which look like metal. But to be honest, the outcome didn't really look better than before. Also, somehow the whole UI felt too big and heavy. So as always, if you don't know what to do, seek out for more inspiration. I revisited my Steam library and fired up Warstone TD. In this game, when you select a tower, the building or task menu appears right at the tower. This approach can also be seen in some mobile games like Kingdom Rush. I really liked that, so I decided to go with that. So to achieve this, I removed the task panel prefab from the UI prefab and wrote a script that repositions it at the world position of the tower with the rotation towards the player. This worked pretty smooth. After that, I adjusted the layout so that it shows 4 task categories at the circle around the selected tower. Now the only problem was that once the player moves around in the map or rotates the camera, the rotation of the building menu didn't follow that. That looks weird, right? Fortunately, at Christmas I decided to start an online course to learn about Unity multiplayer via Mirror. As if I hadn't already enough to do with working on CreepWars TD, working at my day job and feeding Koi every day. This course by Debuff was really cool because you build a whole real-time strategy game from scratch, and guess what? He has UI elements which automatically adjust to the player camera view. So I copied the script and attached it to the task panel UI prefab. So with some adjustments here and there, for example to make the UI more detailed, I only had to bump up the reference resolution, also a learning from Debuff's course. And then the new prefab was ready. Unfortunately, I had to add the new task panel prefab to all the scenes and configure it in every single level. Yep, next time I will do better. That was really the biggest chunk of work. Yet there is still work to do, like adjusting the color scheme, rearranging some elements, etc. I would love to get feedback on that. Feel free to join my Discord server to share your thoughts. Link is in the description. Next main issue. Implement 3 difficulty levels. This one wasn't as easy because what can I easily add to make the game more medium or hard to beat? Spawn more or less creeps? Then I need to change the wave spawner system? No thanks. Change the health of creeps or the damage of towers depending on difficulty? This would require even more adjustment, so not really. Give the player gold after each wave on the lower difficulties? This would only mean that to add an event at the wave spawner script? Okay, but this is very powerful because I have balanced all maps based on no money after each round, so on easy every noob will beat the level on first try. Wait, that is the definition of easy, right? But on the other hand, if that person then cranks up the game speed, the game is played through in no time. This would mean I need to rebalance everything again. So I decided to remove the speed adjustment from easy and medium difficulty because you should be able to beat the levels on first try, and I only enabled it on the hard difficulty setting. I hope you agree with this design decision. Next thing on the agenda is pretty straightforward: implementing a settings menu for graphics. For that, of course, I did extensive research on Brecky's YouTube channel and how to do that and then implement it in the start menu scene. You can now select between 6 graphic presets. On nearly every machine you should be able to run it in Fantastic. I even got it running on my old Galaxy Tab. The settings menu already had a sound adjustment, and some half years ago I also experimented with an in-game sound menu on the fun map Circle. You might wonder why this still had the old UI when you played it. I already implemented a fully functioning menu there, but guess what? I didn't work with prefabs again. I copied and added it to the UI prefab and then had to do a ton of reconfiguring on all the level scenes again. But each mistake brings an opportunity, so I updated the circle map UI as well. The next point was much more fun: adding a stun as tower ability. This was suggested many times and I always wanted to implement a debuff system. But unfortunately the template didn't have a debuff system. Or has it? Some weeks ago, while feeding Koi, I remembered that the template has a system for damage over time. This works pretty straightforward. Once a unit gets hit by an attack that deals damage over time, a damage over time script gets added to the entity, and at the end of the damage over time lifetime, the script gets disabled. So why not modify that to not only deal periodically damage, but also reduce the movement speed at initialization and restoring it at disabling. With this idea in place, it was really fun to code, and now we have the ability to manipulate the unit stats with a debuff. Last thing on the list, fixing bugs. This was pretty boring, despite one honorable mention: a bug that causes monstrosity creeps to walk backwards. This is it for the first devlog of finishing my tower defense game CreepWars TD. I hope you find the series somewhat interesting or maybe even entertaining. It's a lot of fun to make the videos. Please feel free to ask questions and post feedback. I really can't wait to read from you guys. Thanks, bye.